I'm Lloyd Owens here from Music Livewire. We're here at the Art Bar in Columbia, South Carolina to talk to a band from Athens, Georgia who's just been tearing it up all over the Southeast. Check this out. Okay, so what's the Critical Darlings philosophy?
Frank generally comes up with our philosophies. I'm not good at that. Frank is a genius at that. I am not. My philosophy is to continue to be philosophical, continue to exist two-dimensionally, three-dimensionally, four-dimensionally, and hopefully in the fifth dimension as soon as it becomes economically viable. We're working towards it.
So since you guys are an Athens-based band, but none of you are from Athens, how do the locals there treat you?
Like posers.
Was it like posers?
Yeah, I mean, there's no other word. I mean,
But they don't treat you badly.
not awfully. It's like when we go to dinner parties, things like that, invariably our food will be served cold while everyone else, that it's very subtle.
So you get the craft service.
Exactly, yeah. No, actually Athens is, it's a very supportive community to pretty much any musician, but, if you go there and you act right,
Okay, so how did you get into this mess in the first place?
All right, so I came to Athens to go to UGA, and I was just happened to look in the flagpole and see that a band was looking for a drummer, and so I called Chris up, got the number, and he said, yeah, just stay in touch, man, we'll see what goes on. So I tried out for the first time, and I was kind of nervous and I actually overplayed a whole lot, and so Chris was like, man, you gotta cut it back if you come back. So I actually didn't make the band. I don't know much about the other drummer, but it's like he flaked out, so I got another chance, so I came back and tried really hard to not overplay, and Chris has helped me get better over, as I've gone along and played more shows. You can almost, if you hear any of the old audio, I play too much, and now I'm starting to, really play for the band. That's been my biggest growth, is being in this band. I came from a jam band where I kind of dictated everything, and so now just playing for the songs is the most important thing, and Chris has taught me that, and so that's the thing I've learned the most from being in the Critical Darlings.
Be surprised who's on your new album. You want to name drop a little bit and let us know who's on there?
If people are surprised, they're either A, an extreme music geek, or B, surprised that we're talking about these people they've never heard of. But yes, we have some pretty cool people. Who do we have? Well, my favorite is obviously David Bowie's piano player, Mike Garson, who played with Bowie back in the Ziggy Stardust days, and he was the piano player responsible for Aladdin Sane. If anybody knows that, you are the music geek that I mentioned before. But yes, that guy, and he's been playing with Bowie again since about '95. So I think he's played with Bowie longer than anyone else. And since the guy's my favorite piano player in existence, I'm quite thrilled that we actually got him to play on this 9-minute ridiculous song. And he was willing to do it and seemed to enjoy it, as torturous as it may have been for him, because we made him work. He said it was the hardest he'd worked. I think he said for some arbitrary reason in the last 90 recordings, if I'm remembering correctly. But I thought that was weird. He usually just does one take and he's done. And he apparently had to work on our track for a day and all night one night for sure, and then over these 3 separate days.
So you made him work for his dinner.
Yeah. Oh, it was probably just a dinner. That's about all he got out of it, is my guess. Who else? Wait, is anybody else? we hijacked REM's Mellotron. Does that count? David Barbie, who co-produced it with us, worked with like REM, and he was the bass player for Sugar. Just did the new Cracker record. He did the he got a Grammy nomination for working with Betty LaVette last year. While he was working on our records, he had to take a break to go to the Grammys. And what else? Oh, Neil Young just did some stuff with him through the new Booker T album that he produced. So he's worked with some amazing people. And we worked with him, so we'll take it by default.
Okay, so what are you looking for a new guitarist for?
Am I? Oh, a new guitarist? Because we don't have an old one anymore. Is it? That's it. I mean,
Gonna leave it at
it
that?
would be cool. Yeah, if, we just want someone to fill out the space on the right-hand side of the stage. Or actually,
void.
to my stage left, that would be the left-hand side. Yeah, it's more about symmetry, really. It's like feng shui,
Yeah, you gotta get your feng shui
feng
going.
shui, or whatever the kids call it nowadays. It's like,
So,
it's like our wind sector's devoid.
so you didn't consider going back to a power trio, or right now it's kind of you need 4 people?
No, we do not need 4 people at all. We can do a power trio just fine. I mean, it's more of an indie, for lack of a better term. Indie is not the right word. It's more of just a straight power pop thing when it's a trio. My stock line on that is that the band is a perfectly tasty pound cake as a trio, but I like icing, and Joe was the icing for us. I know some people that don't, but and I actually when Joe announced and told us that he was leaving, Frank I don't think wanted another guitar player. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. You can ask him, but it sounded to me like he just wanted to go back to a trio and always preferred it that way, which I didn't realize. But some of it for me is I've been having a good time. Again, putting down the guitar, being able to get up and just act silly, and live that comb in the mirror thing, which has been fun. And that's only a recent thing, even since the new drummer. So.
All right, Josh. So pretty soon you're not going to be the new guy in the band anymore. How do you feel about that?
Actually, I'm really excited about it because being the new guy, I don't know, it just gets brought up so much. I'm starting to feel like I'm just one of the guys. Chris will come to complain to me. Frank will say his little anecdotes about little crazy stories and stuff. It's kind of fun to be part of that.
What made you pick up Side B Music as your label? And are there any plans of releasing Satisfactionista through it?
I like your phrasing, that we picked them up. I'm sure Jerry and Brian will be thrilled with that. But no, Side B was amazing to work with. I don't even know how long it was after the album first came out. They came in, and let's just say, we made a deal that we couldn't really refuse. And they've done a lot of good for us. They've helped us get the word out. They still are. Satisfactionista is not with Side B for any reason that's a good reason. I mean, I talked to Jerry about it. It just didn't happen for some reason. I think they wanted to take it, and he's mentioned it a few times. But it doesn't seem right at the time, right now, because we're really kind of figuring out. And again, back to the thing with Joe, even we're clearly in a transitional point in the band. And anybody that's seen our shows over the last year will realize that too, because the band that we were originally a power trio. We got Joe in and evolved, and we're changing again. And it's funny because the new record's come out, but the new record only reflects what we were doing 2-3 years ago. So we're somewhere else, which I guess is usual. But it's just getting heard now what we were doing then. And we've got, I don't even know how many songs ready to go now that are not what we were doing then. And with Josh Harrison, I can't wait to get in the studio with Frank and Josh and whoever the new person is, And I might even do a couple of solo tracks too, just for fun in the meantime, which is always fun for me because, yeah.